Welcome everybody. I often get asked a lot about the gear and equipment that I use, kind of miscellaneous stuff. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Also a quick reminder, through the month of December here, I am giving a rod away, buying a rod of your choice from a variety of companies. I've got a video, I'll put a link in the description talking more about that. I've had a number of people that bought gear, thought they were using my affiliate link and they didn't, so I couldn't put their name in the hat. So if you're looking for ideas, gift ideas over Christmas here coming up, some of this gear might tickle your fancy and might give you ideas of something that you could use and also enter into the free rod giveaway. So let's get started. So much of the equipment that I have here is from the companies that I'm an affiliate with, and when appropriate I will have links to the items in the video description if you want to go straight to them, and again that's through my link, so that would automatically qualify you for the rod giveaway as well. The first thing I'm going to talk about are packs and things I use to carry my rods and gear. Now I'm not affiliate with this particular company and it's Zimmer built, but I believe in his gear and I have quite a few of his items from him. And the first is the guide sling. It's very spacious. It's got a couple large zippered pockets with little zippered pouches inside. It has these little cords to attach, to secure up to four different rods in the pouch back here. I put this little chest pack on mine. I would actually use this even more. The primary reason I don't is when I'm recording videos, I like to have my video camera on a magnet basically on my chest, so that doesn't work with the strap. Except for in the wintertime I use this more because I usually have a head mount because of my waders being in the way of the magnet mount for the GoPro. So this is, and I've never been a sling guy, but I really like this one and I do use it a ton. Now when I need to go a little bit further or I'm carrying gear in summertime, I use this particular pack, which is the Tailwaters. Has little pouches on each side for the Tenkara rods, and a little bungee in the back to carry gear, but it's just a single compartment. I didn't ask for any additional options. And then I have various accessories, a little phone pouch, water bottle pouch, that sort of stuff. And I usually get one of his little belt pouches that I use for snacks or GoPro batteries and that sort of thing. But it's very small. These things are super light, but very sturdy as well. So the Tailwaters, that's the one I use a lot. When I need to go further and carry more gear, I use, my favorite one is this Headwaters bag. Big pouch in the back. Also has lots of bungees all around it. I think there's, 2, 4, 6 of them. So I use this one a lot also when I'm bringing regular rod and reels in the tubes. So this will carry both my Tenkara rods as well as my Western rods. But it's again single compartment, super simple. I can carry my waders in this, and my boots, gives enough room. Another little accessory pouch where I carry small stuff. And again, strap pouch, water bottle holder, belt pouch. I put kind of on every one of them. So that's if I need to go a little bit more further back into the wilderness and carry more gear or carry my waders that wouldn't fit in the Tailwaters bag. So those are the three that I use primarily: the guide sling, the Tailwaters, and the Headwaters packs, all from Zimmer built. And I'm not an affiliate with them. I just believe in his gear and he's great to deal with. The next thing I'm going to talk about is more for wet wading, although I do use these over my waders as well. And these are wader gaiters. So I strap them either over my waders to protect them if I'm going through thorny bushes and things like that, protect those expensive waders, provide some cushion if I'm kneeling down, dealing with fish and whatnot. Again, to protect the waders, or I also use them wet wading just because it provides some padding. I've got a lot of scars on my shins from slipping and falling or trying to go through freestone rivers or creeks, and you know, protecting my thin wet wading pants from, again, tears on logs and bushes and things like that. So these particular ones are Little Presents. If I didn't say that, that's the brand, Little Presents. I got these from Tenkara, and they come in a couple different sizes, but very simple, straightforward. You know, Velcro them on over top of whatever you're wearing, and I use them either with or without my regular waders. A couple other items here that I use from, these are from Dragon Tail. And so this little neoprene roll seems silly, but I actually use it quite a bit. So you pull the straps off and it's just a changing pad. You know, I would use floor mats. I would use, I actually have a wader bag, that little fold out deal. But I found this is just the simplest thing to use. I keep it in the trunk of my back of my truck or trunk of the car, and for ice and mud, washes off super easy, being this neoprene. But anyways, something you always work around, but it just makes it simple. The other one, kind of similar, and I've had questions about this one. So this is their seat cover. And there's no straps to it. I take it back. There are the two little ones on the bottom for rolling it up, I'm assuming. But there's nothing that secures it to your car seat or vehicle seat other than the head, going over the headrest. It's very large size, so it'll fit a variety of different vehicles regardless of kind of your seat configuration. And everything. And I actually have two of these. I bought one originally to keep in the passenger side for my dog because he gets dirty, sheds, that sort of stuff. But then it dawned on me that I should have one on my side too. So when in the wintertime or when I'm using my waders, I don't have to take them off or get my seat wet. When I'm going from place to place, if I want to move, jump in my car, drive 10 minutes and jump back out. And the other thing is in the summertime when I'm wet wading or backpacking, when I'm done, again, changing locations or driving home, they're not expensive and you can almost always get them on sale at one time or another. So I didn't think I would care too much, just bought one for the dog, but then I ended up buying one for myself as well. This next piece is also from Zimmerbilt. And initially, again, another one of those, I don't know that I would use it all that much. But then when I got my trailer, and I'll explain that to you in a little bit, I decided to go ahead and get these. So these are what he calls his Tenkara rolls, and it has little straps to close these up. But what's inside, little Velcro holds these wings, is just the strap. So it will hold, I think, 8 Tenkara rods across through here, and then you fold these up to protect the rods, and then you roll it up and strap it, and you can carry it like that. So I actually bought 2 of these also for when I went to the Wisconsin Tenkara campout to use, to bring the rods that I was planning on using. So, and the way I do it now, not just for traveling, but the rods that I keep kind of semi-permanently in my trailer, I keep in this roll, and which leads me to the next piece of equipment that I'll discuss. But these are very simple, very light. These are a little more expensive if I remember right. But it's one of those things that you can make do without it, but it certainly simplifies life. So what I do with those Tenkara rolls is I actually put them in this little carry bag. And I can't remember, it's like 3 feet long on this thing. But actually, Marcus Bigby, when I was at the Wisconsin Tenkara campout, he had one of these bags. Now it was a different brand, and when I did a little research, I found that it seems like some company is making them and then labeling them for different companies. So found one that was less expensive and also came in a color that I wanted. But this little pouch, this little bag has many pouches inside and out, where you can store all the gear. So I actually keep this in my trailer with a variety of lines. I keep a Tenkara roll inside this with at least 8, or up to 8 Tenkara rods in it for whatever fishing situation I run into as I'm traveling around. But it's actually kind of customizable inside, and right now I don't have much in here, but it has, if you can see, has these little Velcro dividers that you can mix and match, and again, pouches on the inside where you can store stuff as well. And so anyways, it's just very convenient. I keep all my fishing gear. I actually put rods and reels in here for my Western rods. I put a small compact spinning rod in there, believe it or not, as well as the Tenkara roll with a bunch of Tenkara rods. So all one easy package. Now this one is from Osage River. So again, if you're interested in them, not an affiliate or anything like that, but you can look up that name and probably find this and find similar ones if there's a different color or something. But they seem to all be the same size and looked the same. So again, I think there's a company or two in the background making them and rebranding them for different companies. So that makes it easy for me. I carry all my fishing gear basically in the trailer, or when I go on the road, I just pack it with things, and it's all in one spot. So a couple other Zimmerbilt, I told you I like his products, items that I use. This one is, and I should talk about this one before, but it's the Quick Draw. Now, it comes without this little strap pack, and these little strap packs come in different sizes. The strap pack, the chest pack I showed you earlier on my sling, as well as a micro pack, which is even smaller, if I remember right. But this Quick Draw, it will hold. It's got the little, stretchy up here bungee, and you can slide up to 2 Tenkara rods in, facing different directions in there, and just I use the little string, throw it over my shoulder, and it's kind of my minimalist pack. And I throw a couple tins of flies in there with, one spool of tippet, and got my nippers and stuff attached to the outside. So this is kind of my minimalist setup when I travel. Sometimes in the car when I used to work, I would always keep this in my car with a couple different rods in it, so I could jump out and fish at any time. And then I've got this little Kaizen pack, and it's kind of neat. It's got a couple little divider pouches in there and the external pouch, but again, you can use it with or without the little strap. And I actually use this most of the time when I'm doing wilderness trips. I'll put a lot of gear in this and just store it in my pack. So when I set up camp, I just pull this out, throw it over my shoulder, grab my rod, and I've got usually my flies, I'll have nippers and hemostats and everything attached to it or inside it. So I just use this little pack. So these next items, I have to give credit to Tom Davis of Teton Tenkara. If you've seen his videos, a lot of times he's wearing these blue gloves. And I ordered a pair, and they were very inexpensive. I've had them actually for, I don't know, a couple of years now. But their brand is called Rockfish on them. Rockfish, but they're actually very nice. You get a very good grip on them, but they're very flexible, and they've got this very soft cotton lining in them, so they slide on and off. Latex, I think, rubber, back, so they're waterproof. Keep your hands dry, obviously, but there's enough dexterity with them where you can do a lot of, typical duties while you're fishing without having to take them on and off. They've been great, and they've held up really, really well. So thanks, Tom, for that recommendation. One of the other things, again, shout out to Tom for this. If you've watched his videos, and sometimes you'll see me using them, but are these little release tools. And this is a new one that I just bought because it's a different size from the one I normally use. This is a midge version, so it's tiny. Getting ready for a trip in the spring where we use a lot of tiny flies. So it's called Ketchum Release. It's spelled with a K, Ketchum, Idaho. So you can get them in this midge, a standard or a large size if you've got foam, bugs, and streamers, or big woolly buggers, things like that. So, and obviously you can use a bigger one for a smaller fly. It's just sometimes you might miss it, but basically you just has a little slit in the end here. You hook that on the string, run it the line, and you run it down your tippet to the hook, and then you just kind of flip it up, and if you have barbless hooks, they pop right off. So really helps in quick releases and not needing to handle the fish. So that's an item that I use quite a bit, and you might have seen it bebopping around one of my other packs. This other item I'll talk about, so there's two places you can get these, and again, I'll put links in there because they're both affiliates, or I'm an affiliate with both of them. First, Tenkara Tanuki as well as Tenkara Adventure Outfitters, TAO, both have these. And I got my first one, I think I bought both of these actually from Luong, but I just wanted to try it and see, but again, it was one of those I was skeptical, but I actually really do like these. It's kind of a silicone, and what is unique about it, and obviously the hole, you can put it over your rod once you wrap your line around it, but it has these little fold down end, so once you wrap it, and you just flip it over and it secures your line. If you've ever used them on a rod, a regular one, sometimes your line comes detached and then you got a big coil running around and you get it snagged on things. So these are super lightweight, obviously bright colors, so even I can't lose them. And in addition to that, this inner ring on the bottom side is actually a little fly box. So there's two little compartments, little half moons or semicircles, where you can keep small flies in each side of this, and they snap in good. I haven't had any issues with any falling out, and I've got a bunch of flies in this one here. So I've got obviously small flies, not gonna, a big Sakasa Kabari is not gonna do well in there, but I've got a lot of little bead heads, perdigons, some small soft hackles and things in there. But I've probably got, I don't know, 12.5 flies in there easily, maybe even a little bit more. But you can put quite a few flies, and that could be your whole minimalist setup. A rod with this over it with your line. Obviously got to carry tippet and any hemostat nippers, but makes it very convenient if you're struggling like I did, bouncing around to what type of line holders you want, which kind of leads me to these other ones that I do use still. So the typical foam version, and I like this just because it doesn't scratch up the rod and stuff, but a lot of these, and these little line cards also I got from Dragon Tail, they're labeled Nirvana. You can get them under different brand names, but I use these for all my line storage that I showed in a previous video of my fly tying desk. So and I have them color coded, like all of the blue ones are number 3 line, and all the yellow ones are 2.5 and things like that. So makes it very convenient for me to find which line I'm looking for. So these are the other 2 types of line holders I use, in addition to those little line saucers, I think they call them. So the next item I'll talk about, and you may have seen them on some of the other items that I discussed already, but these little magnet devices, and I use these for holding flies. If you're wading around in the water, and I do a lot of switching of flies between bead heads and soft hackles, back and forth, depending on how the water changes as I'm going. Rather than digging through the fly box and putting it away wet, you can leave it on this, and it's a very sturdy magnet. This yellow one comes off, and they come in different colors also, and I get bright colors, so if it falls off I can find it, which I've never had happen. but this little steel plate, it's a really strong magnet, and it will hold multiple flies, obviously, and it's very strong. I mean, you can shake it and the fly won't fall off. I have lost a couple flies, I will say, because I put them on some of the packs on the shoulder strap. So when I take the pack off and on, sometimes the strap rolls, so it will brush up against me, the fly will, and pull it off. So I have lost a couple, but you can also not use the carabiner. If you have a piece of material that's thin, you put that on the inside and it will hold through the material, whether it's, you know, a shirt or part of the pack or whatever, bill of your cap. Shows a few different uses. I just use the carabiner and keep it on there. So that's kind of a nifty little tool. I've actually had several Facebook questions recently about my net, and this is the small wooden net from Dragon Tail or Nirvana, but I really like this net. Not just because it's wood and it's pretty and all that, but it's super lightweight. It's got a very roomy, deep basket, and it's flat on the bottom. So if you want to take pictures of fish in there, you can. And I always keep a gear keeper ring on it. So if I'm changing packs, I can bring my favorite net with me. I don't know if they still are, but these were like 25 bucks off recently, and they're not that expensive. Compared to some nets that you can buy, but they're super lightweight. So I keep it on a gear keeper and a long one and let go of it, and it sucks right back up, which is the next thing I'm going to mention, is my gear keeper. So I've got several of them in different flavors, if you will. So these are gear keeper, just got them off Amazon, and I've got many, several different ones. They come in, you can look at how strong they are, how long they are. So like I've got a really strong one for my big wooden wading staff. And this thing is very, very strong. So in the past, if I was using a softer version, my wading staff would not retract. So I have a strong one for that. I have lighter ones for my so this is the strong one. I can tell you it's a lot stronger, even though it's smaller. But this is what I attach my wading staff to, and this one's for the net. So anyways, each pack I have these gear keepers, and that's the brand Gear Keeper. I use a lot, and you get them in different strengths and different lengths. So depending on what you're trying to hold, they work well. And here's the other standard one, and they're color coded of these catch and release tools. This one's black, the midge is blue, and I can't remember the large one. I don't own one. So anyways, so that's kind of a summary of a lot of the gear that I use. I'll put links to the ones that are with the companies that I'm an affiliate with if you want, Christmas gift ideas, and to get entered into the free rod giveaway. You can use the links that I'll have in the description. I'll also put links to the other gear, that I'm not affiliated with, just because I believe in that gear. Save you a little time if you want to go look at them as well. So thanks for watching, and have a Merry Christmas.